Imagine winning at work and not winning because you're playing office politics or because you're doing that shameless self-promotion. Imagine winning in life, not because you're in the right social circles or the right friend group. But what if you were winning because you learned to master your soft power? If you're new here, I'm Laura. I am a C-suite executive, a personal brand coach, a mom, and a wife. On this channel, I create content on modern elegance, career mastery, and a little bit of style. So ladies, let's talk about soft power. In today's video, not only am I going to give you some strategies, but I want to talk about two women who used soft power very effectively to become phenomenal women. And on the surface, they look very different. But because they both knew how to master soft power, they became extremely influential. And their legacy will be that they were the most successful women. The first is Indra Nooyi, who is the former CEO of PepsiCo. The second is Gabrielle Coco Chanel. And on the surface, they look quite different because, of course, Indra, who was a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, and Coco Chanel, who was, of course, a fashion icon. But each of these women mastered soft power. Now, the first strategy is to build your signature personal brand. Now, when it comes to your personal brand, you want to build a signature style that when people think about you, they think about your personal style. Now, think about Indra Nooyi. She's this Fortune 500 CEO in a male-dominant environment where neutrals, black and gray suits and blue suits are everywhere. So instead of just blending in, she had a signature style. She too would wear the corporate suits, but she did two things different. One, her suits were always tailored to perfection. And two, she would often wear scarves as an accessory. And these scarves were a nod to her Indian heritage. And so she was effectively able to bring in color. Although she was in a gray suit like all the other men, she would bring in color. But not just color. She did this strategically because the color represented her heritage. Now, Coco Chanel did it differently, but still quite effective because what she did was, of course, classic style. Not only did she always have this signature look, pearls in the little black dress, and she too did this effectively because she did it during a time where women were akin to second-class citizens, where women wore corsets and these voluminous dresses. And what she introduced was not only the little black dress, which fits a little closer to the body, but she also introduced pants during a time when it was unheard of. And the signature pearls, which now is still very classic, it's very timeless. So both women had their signature style. So when people think of them, they think of the style. And that's what you want to create, ladies. You want to create your signature style. The next strategy is to use empathy and respect. So if you are going to truly tap into your soft power, you have to learn how to be empathetic with people because empathy is what connects you with people. Because when you're able to step in someone's shoes, you're able to feel what they're going through. And when you do that, you show up very authentic. And when you're able to do that, people trust you. They want to work with you. They want to work for you. Indra did this effectively. She was known as someone who was very approachable. And not only was she approachable, she did something very risky when she first became CEO. She took the time to write to every senior executive's parents to say thank you for the gift of your child. And what that did was that bonded her with the executives, but not only the executives, but with employees. They wanted to work with her and for her. They trusted her. They felt like she was extremely approachable. Coco Chanel did it because what she was able to do was empathize with women who were going through a time of war, a time when money was scarce. And so she was making clothes so that they could feel comfortable, not only in their clothes, but also in themselves. And so both women were able to effectively empathize with people. And by doing that, they were able to draw people in. The third strategy that also is tapping into your soft power is to be an effective communicator. So not only was Indra extremely competent, or is extremely competent, but she's also a very effective communicator. She's able to deliver the message and deliver it in a strong, competent way, but also in a very calm way. And because of that, again, she was able to take PepsiCo to a whole different level. In addition to that, Coco Chanel did the same thing. A very effective communicator, although her style was quite different because she had the sharp, witty one-liners. But that drew people in. It made her fun. People wanted to be around her. And so, ladies, if you're going to master your soft power, you're going to tap into it, you have to master the art of communication. Now, one of you asked me to do a video on how to speak in public speaking. And I'm going to do that video because public speaking can be daunting for some and easier for others. But I want to take the fear out of it because when you learn how to speak publicly, when you learn how to speak to bigger and larger audiences, you're not only communicating, but if you do it effectively, you are inspiring. And not only are you inspiring, but you're able to get across your message. You're able to influence people. You're able to get people to buy in whatever message you're trying to deliver. And so these two women effectively learned the art of communication, and they did it in a very effective way. Another strategy that both women effectively mastered, and that is they leverage elegance with boldness. Now, think about Indra for a moment. Again, CEO, Fortune 500 company, and here she is wearing a scarf, not just a scarf, a bold scarf. When men only wore gray or black or navy blue, all of those neutral colors, here she is. She's wearing her scarf, but she's doing it in a very tailored way. She's doing it in a very bold way, without being loud, without drawing attention to herself. And she's doing it because her style is very classic. It's very timeless. The same with Coco Chanel. She's doing it boldly. It was bold for a woman to now wear a little black dress. She was doing it very elegantly because that little black dress is still very effective today. It's timeless. It's a classic. And so both women recognized that they wanted to leverage elegance, but do it in a bold way without speaking boldly, but in demonstration. So one of the quotes from Coco Chanel, and I hope I get this right, she said that people will remember the dress, but what you want them to remember most is the woman who wears the dress. And both of these women are memorable because they were elegant and they were bold, but they were doing it softly. Another strategy is to build those strategic relationships and networks. Relationships are a funny thing because you can be in relation with family members. And because they're family members, you think that You have to continue that relationship. But that's not the case. When it comes to relationships and network, you want to strategically build those because the goal is to build relationships that make you better, build relationships that bring you joy, build relationships and networks that are going to help you on your career journey, that are going to help you move forward and upward. You've heard the old adage, iron sharpens iron. And if you are iron, if you are moving forward, you want people in your life that are going to help propel you forward. Even if it's relationships with families or romantic relationships. Just because you are bond together by blood, it doesn't mean you have to have a relationship if that relationship isn't a positive one. And just because you're in a relationship, there's nothing that says that you have to stay in that relationship if that relationship isn't bringing you joy, if that relationship isn't doing something to move you forward. So you want to strategically build your relationships. And strategically building relationships mean not only do you have these relationships, but you're also investing in these relationships. And investing means that you are actively listening, that you're making time to spend with people. It means that both parties are getting something out of the relationship, something that is positive and that's moving them forward. So when it comes to strategically building relationships, again, you're building relationships in networks that are positive, that's bringing you joy, that's helping you. In addition to relationships, you also want to stay true to your values. See, in a time where you're working and sometimes things don't go as you would like them to, even in life, things aren't going the way that you like them to. And what happens is it's easy to take a shortcut. It's easy to do something that don't align with your values or don't align with who you truly are to your core. And sometimes, again, it's easy to get sucked into that, but you want to remember that when you stay aligned to your values, when you stay aligned to who you truly are at your core, that is when you become successful. That is when people connect to you, because when you don't, this goes against your integrity and people see that you're not authentic. And when they see that, they don't trust you. And when they don't trust you, they don't want to work with you. They don't want to work for you. And so you always want to stay true to your values, to the core of truly who you are. So those are some strategies on soft power. And both Indra Nooyi and Coco Chanel, they both were able to utilize these strategies effectively. Indra will go down in history as one of the best CEOs of our time. And she did it because she was effective in her communication. She did it because she not only was competent, but she understood emotional intelligence and she understood the power of influence and she understood how to communicate with people. And Coco Chanel will go down in history as someone who was very fashion forward, and she used fashion to make a statement. She used fashion to empower women to feel better about who they are. And she utilized this in such a way that even now we are still wearing the little black dress. We still love the handbags, the perfume, the elegance of it all. So each of these ladies were able to use their soft power to build their brands, to build their legacy. If you're using some strategies that I didn't mention, please leave them down below. I would love to hear other strategies that you may be using. Don't forget to like and to subscribe to the channel, also to share this video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. And as always, I'll see you next time.